because I don't let too many things go. I usually go back to it and usually kind of, yeah. yeah.
And it has to be your comfort level with it, right? I can imagine if your friend gets very sassy, how it might embarrass you, you know, I would think I would, shh, quiet, it's good to go. We just had a situation not too long ago where one of the students that I was supporting had mobility issues, and we went swimming at the Y, and she was told she couldn't use the slide because she couldn't get up the slide properly. And I said, well, what's the proper way to get up the slide?
Really.
And so when I talked to them later, they just said, oh, well, he just didn't get the training. And I said, but it's too late now. But when I talked to her, I said, do you want me to do anything with this? I can certainly call them. No, just leave it. It's not a big deal. And I thought, okay, well, I could certainly get really sassy or whatever, not necessarily sassy, but maybe, you know, have some pretty harsh words sort of thing to think about what I could say about, you know, maybe you need some training or maybe you need, and she's like, no, it's good, it's fine, it was one deal, it's not a problem. But I can see it's got to be about the person, right, what they're comfortable with, I think is probably most important.
I think sometimes it depends on whether it is a comment or whether it is a service. And I think sometimes, you know, if it's a comment, I think, is it more about them or is it about me? You know, so is it about them? Well, you know what? That's all right. Like, maybe there's another day that I can teach them. Because right now, I'm just like, oh. They'll learn. You know, like, because not everybody, maybe it is that discomfort that they're working through that, you know, will take some time for them to process. And that doesn't always have to be my job, because I could be teaching the whole universe about accessibility issues, like really, you know. But if it's a personal service that I have been denied, then I'm going to tackle that one pretty seriously. Yeah. Or for my daughter, or for my husband, or yeah.
Actually, I want to hug another question. Since having your daughter, has that changed your approach versus having your own personal experiences growing up and then having your baby? Because this is just Mother's Day, I was talking about my mom about being a mama bear, so that's wondering if that changed anything for you.
Yeah, it does. Like, because, I mean, it's funny because it becomes a looking glass self, right? I never really saw myself as being different. I think when you go through a disability, a lot of times you forget that you have that disability until somebody else reminds you of it. But for Jess, knowing that she struggles with it quite a bit, you know, you do become that protective mama bear, right? And you can see how, you know, she struggles. But part of her personality, fortunately, is, you know, a bit of a fighter and a bit of a, you know, an advocate as well for herself. She would be the one to say, more than me, you can't say that. So that's good. Yeah.
I think you were so correct when you talked about kind of the innocence of children and how we could just kind of take like their role and their perspective. Like a couple weeks ago you met my girls, right? And I'm all about teachable moments. Like sometimes I over teachable moments with children. And when we were walking back to my office, Eva was quiet and I said, what are you thinking about? And she was like, Mom, God made us all different. And then Chelsea went, nuh-uh, Lori and I have the same color hair. Right? And so it was just like that, you know, like, because I wanted to see, like, if they had any questions, and, you know, Eva didn't see differences, right? She was just like, oh, we're just all here, you know.
Yeah. They can be such a breath of fresh air.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. And that's what I love about like working here. You know, some of the kids have just been like so inspiring and so, you know. So are you what they call a little person? Yeah. Oh, well, why do they have to call you a little person? You're just a person. Yeah, I like that a lot. So let's move on. Like, what's the big deal? Yeah.
Well, and that's what you had said about generational. It's like you said, your daughter Jessie would be a lot quicker to advocate for herself than maybe you would, because it's so much more, I don't even know what the word would be, it's so much more prevalent now to be able to say, well, this is me, here I am, deal with it.
Yeah.
And then it's the same thing with the little kids. They don't even think about any of that, to be completely honest, right? So it's just the very simple generational people that you have as well, right? So.
Exactly,
yeah.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's true. Any other questions? Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your attention and questions, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Lori. So again, that was our third Lunch and Learn part of the series that's part of the Children's Aid Society and Rebound Partnership. So look forward to some more in the fall. Your inbox is open for that. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.